What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 110 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. What's up, dude?
Not a whole lot. I'm happy to have you back at my house and not like 30 minutes away recording over a computer.
It's whatever.
It saves me you have no idea. It saves me a ton of time not trying to.
I'm sure it makes things way simpler in all actuality. But...
Yeah, we had audio issues like come up when we did the interview because I was recording Jeremy's audio and my audio.
To be fair, part of the audio issues was because Discord's stupid.
Yes.
Which it took me about 3 weeks to figure out why it wasn't working, in which now it's no problem.
Yeah, now we ain't got an issue and it's fine. And then last week we had camera issues, and so we solved our audio problem by having you record everything on your end.
I don't understand that one. Discord doesn't want to read the settings I have for my webcam.
No clue.
But it wants to. I don't get it. I just don't get it. So if I showed you my webcam, it had frame rate issues.
Yep.
Which
you could stream in 30 FPS.
Which I can't get Nitro, which would have let me do in 60 because I'm currently locked out of my PayPal account because I currently don't have my phone.
Exactly.
So everything comes back to me not having my phone.
Just like last week.
Learned.
Yeah, just like last week. Don't have a phone, can't get into anything. Soon we'll be talking about indie regionals. That's going to be a fun week for me trying to get caught up there.
Yeah, we didn't have an event this weekend, right?
No.
Nothing this past week?
There's nothing this past week other than our Rumble on Sunday. There's EUIC is not this weekend. It's the weekend after Easter.
Correct. The 23rd and 24th, right?
22nd, 23rd, 24th.
Yeah.
Have fun to all those people who played. I'm sure we'll talk about it again next week. But Indy should be opening up for registration sometime this week if it's not open already. We're recording obviously on Thursday. They haven't opened it yet. Today would be the 7th, would be the 30 days for when the event opens for them to get registration open.
Which means it should be anytime.
Anytime. Like tomorrow, it could be tomorrow. It could be Friday.
Could have already happened. Who knows?
Like, who knows? So keep your eyes and ears peeled. Round 3 is the organization running Indy. I have heard that we are getting side events, which is interesting. I'm not sure how truthful that is, but that's what the website's saying for 2022, and I'm not sure. Like, I believe they're doing a Series 10 event and a Series 9 event. And then the 8-player pickup pods.
Are those going to be pickup format, or?
I assume they're just Series 12.
I mean, if they're running Series 10 and 9, why wouldn't they also have, 2019?
Why couldn't you play Series 1? I want to play with Togekiss, dang it.
Everyone whip out your 3DSs. Go join Gather Plaza. What is it? I have no idea what it's called.
No clue.
It's something Plaza.
Party Plaza? I don't know.
That sounds like a Mario Party thing.
Probably.
I have no idea. Oh man, it's been a week already, and it's Thursday.
I've already missed 3 days of April streaming because work has just been kicking my butt.
I understand.
I
understand that feeling.
I only have 1 day off a week now.
You don't need that.
Apparently not.
No, you're fine. Carl, by the way, you need to work this weekend. We're calling you in on Saturday.
Yeah, I figured.
There's been some complaints that our staff sucks, and as a result, we need you.
That's freaking normal.
Yeah,
not surprised.
Not actually surprised to hear that at all.
I would not be surprised if that's the case. Like, I would not be surprised. Anyway, I think we've rambled long enough. What are we doing today?
I don't know. Look, man, I have been, for the most part, kind of checked out of VGC, which is not a bad thing. I've just been playing a different kind of Pokemon.
It's right in front of me.
But the idea was we've been playing Series 12 now for 2 months, 3 months, February?
2 months.
Yes.
Yep.
This is month 3.
Yep.
It was announced in January. People started playing it then, but it officially started in February. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, as we do, we always have a tier list of things going on in the format beforehand, and it's been quite a while, so we're going to check in and rank things and see how things are.
I wonder if I have that other one saved.
Probably.
Wouldn't be there. It'd probably be here somewhere. Gotta go check the old YouTube.
I don't know what ROM hack they were playing, but there was a GBA sprite for Score Bunny, and I'm really interested in what they were playing. How long ago was this?
So this is February.
We're getting close.
It wasn't going to be too terribly far. 12 team building, Arceus.
So before that,
Victory Road stuff.
Series 12 events.
Almost.
That right there, back that up. There we
there
go.
It is. Did I save the image? I don't think I did.
Alright, so just load the video and we'll fast forward to it and we'll make this work.
Okay, cool. Well, I want to make sure I did not blow everybody's eardrums when I
Make
clicked
sure
on.
people are, this is how we boost our own views, is by watching it ourselves. Honestly, this is pretty close to what I was thinking. There's going to be a lot of things that get shifted, but
There's going to be some changes, probably.
all right, cool. So
from last time, I'll just go ahead and get the, I'll go ahead and get us set up for our, not that one. There we go. This is the tier list. Whoa, we're gonna,
hooray!
you should be seeing all the memes in the dog park down here.
Dude, seriously. You have Zygarde, which is a dog. The actual dogs, which are dogs. Necrozma, you could probably classify as a dog in some capacity. If you squint hard enough, Kyurem's a dog.
Yes, that one, that's true.
And what is a goat if not an undomesticated dog? So really, and then they had their squeaky toys. So this is just the dog park.
Yeah, just the dog park. So last time we had 4 S's. I'm gonna just copy this one real quick over, and we can kind of adjust from there. So we had Zacian,
Yeah.
Groudon,
Yeah.
Kyogre,
Uh-huh.
and Yveltal all in S. We had Kali Shadow Rider, Zamazenta, Ho-Oh.
Just casually
Palkia.
recreating this.
That is Kyurem White and Reshiram. And then Xerneas and Calyrex Ice. And then Lunala, Solgaleo.
I am so excited to get hate comments about Solgaleo again.
Zygarde, Lugia, Rayquaza,
That thing.
Dialga,
That dork.
Zekrom, Dawnwings.
They're so bad. Okay.
This was our list. This is what we had before we had even really played any Series 12 at all. We just literally just threw caution to the wind, made this list.
This was the original ideas. This is where things are going to stand. Here's where we are.
Yeah.
List. So where do we go from here?
So
I think if you want my honest opinion, the big three are still the big three.
Yeah, these three are still really good. Zacian, Groudon, Kyogre, still really, really good.
I could take or leave Yveltal. I don't think it's an S tier bond.
Yeah, Yveltal could go down to probably A, somewhere in here.
I think Yveltal is pretty proper in A. I don't think there's anything else I want to move into S.
No.
I think the S tier is just very solidly locked. Zacian, you can literally slap on any team and make it playable at this point. Groudon, obviously the immersion of the Sun team has really helped it, which I think a big part of it is like the dominance of rain. So being able to counteract the weather is a big deal. And as a result, Kyogre is obviously very good as well in that weather war that we have going on between the two of them.
Yep.
Of course, naturally, you compare either of them with Zacian, and it's just a menace, and, things just get out of hand very quickly between those three. Basically, those three, you could play interchangeably between the three of them, and it just fits. Or you could play one and then pick a restricted to pair with it.
Yeah,
I honestly feel like if you're playing one of those three plus whatever else you want to, your team's good. Your team's just fine. Like, that's a very solid core, is just pick one.
Yeah, pick at least one and then kind of run with it. Yeah, like you said, we've seen this rise of Groudon. Rainier Sun is very, very strong. We had Swordfish. We knew it was going to be really good from the beginning.
It's actually dog water.
And we haven't seen a ton of the dual weathers.
Yeah, the dual weather team is kind of...
It's kind of hard. But it's kind of hard to get.
It's hard to want to be able to bring both restricteds to a matchup. And if you're not bringing both, then, like, your other supporting cast needs to be able to function in both.
Yeah,
and that's difficult. It's difficult to be a weather team that has multiple modes within it.
There's not one Pokemon that benefits from both rain and sun, usually.
Cast form isn't legal.
Yeah, usually you're just stuck with, I have to either commit to one side or the other, and then my other side kind of lacks. Looking through our A's again, we have a lot of things we probably can move around here.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of movement from here forward, I feel like. You want to start at the top, or you want to start from the bottom and work our way up?
We could start from the top and work our way down.
That's fine by me. I think the top of the A tier is probably like Yveltal, Cali Shadow, and Palkia.
Yeah.
I think these three are definitely like the big three of the A tier. And like to a lesser extent, I think you could probably include like Dialga as well. I think Dialga is actually really well positioned in this format as a pair to, like, pairing it with Kyogre or pairing it with Zacian, or just like, again, pick one. Pick one that's just good and play it with Dialga and it's fine.
Yeah. I played a ton with Yveltal. I played a ton with Palkia. Both of them are super duper strong. Palkia's best pairing, I think, is actually with Calyrex Ice and not really with Zacian anymore.
I agree. I think the Palkia Zacian core is still good, but I think personally I still prefer Palkia plus Cali Ice.
Just doing that Trick Room thing is just very, very powerful.
And like honestly is your like restricted, your Trick Room restricted pair is just Palkia plus Cali Ice, and I think that's just good enough. Everything else in A, I think, needs to be dropped at least one tier.
If not more, yeah. I was kind of about to say the same thing. It's like all of these things in A can just go, besides these five.
Yeah, I think this is where we start seeing the real power discrepancy. I think there's an argument that people are going to want to bring Solgaleo to A.
How about I bring Lunala instead?
I think Solgaleo is better than Lunala.
I actually think Lunala is much better than Solgaleo.
I don't know, man. I've played with both. I feel like my win rate is higher with Lunala, but I also feel like it's just the way I play the game. It lines up better for Lunala than Solgaleo. Solgaleo is definitely a Pokemon that's just like, alright, it feels very one-dimensional in what it's doing. It wants to go big, it wants to smack things, and it wants to trigger a policy if it can. Like, if you set up Trick Room, cool. If not, whatever. It's in that awkward speed tier where it doesn't really benefit from either, but it does. Like, it benefits from whatever your opponent's not doing, but like it's really awkward.
So I think Lunala, like Lunala Groudon, is just hidden OP right now. Lunala just pairs better with all these other restricteds too. Solgaleo takes your Dynamax.
For sure.
It takes your Dynamax and you can't do anything else.
It feels very lackluster if you're not maxing it. And when you are, like, I don't really know anything off the top of my head that one-shots it. Zard might come close. Like, Zard in Sun.
Yveltal can.
With, like, Foul Play. Yeah. Like, we'll talk about it when we get to the Team of the Week, but there was a match where Moltres just Foul Played one. It's just like, alright, cool, that's just a solid, like, 85% of your life.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Yveltal Foul Play does a ton to Solgaleo. You can't slow down Yveltal and trigger your policy at the same time.
Yep.
Because Yveltal is immune to Bulldoze. And so...
And past that, like, it's also immune to Scary Face and Thunderwave if it's coming from a Prankster Mon, so good luck doing that.
Yeah, good luck.
One or the other, not both.
Yeah, you either can't activate your policy and you don't take out the Yveltal, and then Yveltal bops you for a ton, or you activate your policy,
and then
Yveltal,
you lose your Solgaleo.
and then you lose your Solgaleo because the Yveltal somehow outsped you. But I think if we had like A plus minuses and whatnot, I think Lunala would probably be in between the A and B. I think it's
like a solid B plus. I don't think it's quite on the cusp of like everything else in A is my problem.
I actually think Lunala is probably better than Dialga right now.
I just don't think no one is giving it the time of day. I think that's the biggest thing is people aren't respecting Lunala, and as a result, like, it doesn't get its time in the sun, so no one knows.
Well, yeah, because it's the moon. That's why it doesn't get time in the sun.
I'm leaving. This is it. All right, see you next week, guys.
Oh,
are you proud of yourself?
Yes, I am. I am. You walked right into it too. It's great. For the same reasons that Solgaleo's in B, Necrozma Duskmane can stay in B.
Except now you're weak to Intimidate.
Yeah, but you can play Special Duskmane and it's fine.
But like, if you're doing Special Duskmane, why not just play Dawn Wings?
Because Dawn Wings isn't as good.
I mean, also accurate.
So having access to Sunsteel Strike is still really, really good.
I think Solgaleo and Duskmane are pretty interchangeable. If I were to play one, I would pick a different restricted. Like, that's just where I'm at, man. I don't enjoy the play patterns of them.
It's not fun by any means. It's
like I said, you're very one-dimensional.
You're very like on your face. Well, I'm going to do the thing. Can you stop me? Oh, you stopped me. Well, I lose.
Okay, bye.
Quite literally, okay, bye. Other solid B tiers that I've seen. Rayquaza has popped up a little bit.
It exists, yes.
As the weather teams have gotten better, Rayquaza's gotten a little bit better. It's not must play by any means, but it's definitely gotten better. People have figured out how to play with it and how to like build it and whatnot to where you're not just dead to a player every time they see it.
The biggest thing is so many of the restricteds above it just don't care.
Yeah.
It just does not do anything to like anything. Like, you line up well against everything else in the format except for the restricteds, and that's kind of a hard sell for me.
I mean, you could say that for a lot of restricteds, actually.
Which is why things have dropped drastically already. The power discrepancies between your S's and A's and everything else, you could probably add like an empty tier in between those two, and that's actually how accurate it is.
Yeah. Like, if there was S, like A plus A and whatnot, I feel like Yveltal would hover in that sometimes A plus, sometimes A. Calyrex Shadow would also sometimes A plus. But then the rest of these four, would probably be solid.
From like A to A minus.
Yeah.
And then like from there, it's just like your B plus is just empty because it's just, there's nothing really in that range of being better than everything else, but also comparable to everything above it.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the part of the podcast where we tear into everyone else's favorite restricted.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to move my boy. He can stay down here and see.
I want it to be good, but it's just like
there's just nowhere for it right now.
And like that's kind of where I'm at with like Eternatus. I feel like I've gotten bopped by it once in this format, and that's like the only thing I remember about it.
I see Zygarde Zamazenta teams pop up on ladder all the time, and they do really well 80% of the time. And usually it's because you've been able to set up your Zygarde to a point where the Groudon, the Kyogre can't touch it. You've blown up their Zacian somehow or taken care of it with something else. And that's pretty much what it is.
So, looking at the C tier, I honestly think Giratina is way better than people give it credit for. I ran calcs with Giratina. It's like actually kind of decent. The problem is you just don't really deal like any damage.
Yeah, you can't. You can take it, but you can't dish it back.
Like, you just sit there.
He can stay at sea.
Yeah, I want it to be better, but it's like,
get out of here.
Yeah,
get out of here. You could stay down here.
I think my one caveat with Zekrom is the special Zekrom sets are cool, but like at this point, I just always assume Zekrom's going to be special because it just is so bad when it gets intimidated.
Yeah, it's just so bad to intimidate. Plus, you don't have like any physical coverage that's actually decent.
Like, imagine if this had like Bolt Beak.
God, no. Please stop.
That's what they need to do to fix Zekrom. Give it Bolt Beak.
God, no.
I single-handedly fixed everything going on.
Palkia would then get Vicious Run.
I'm okay with this.
I am not.
I was going to give it to the whale. So
giving it to the whale is fine.
Whatever. It won't play it, but
yeah. But giving it to Palkia means that they could actually like do something with that.
This is why I'm not in charge of designing stuff.
Lugia, you can get down here.
Lugia is not very good. It's a lot. It honestly is very similar to Giratina. It can take hits, but it just doesn't do anything back.
Like you have to have policy, you have to have it activated,
and even then, it's just like you got hit by a Snarl. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, no, my boosts are gone. And now I'm -1. Well, this is no fun.
And, like, if your policy, you're also just opening yourself up to just being foul played, especially when you're weak to it. Just like,
yeah.
All right, cool. I don't know what I anticipated.
You wanted worse Solgaleo, we have worse Solgaleo.
I didn't think it was possible. I think Xerneas is fine.
Yeah, Xerneas is probably fine where it's at. You see it again with like Groudon pop up every once in a while.
I think if Dynamax wasn't around, it'd be way better.
Oh yeah, for sure, right?
Like,
There's no.
That's what Series 13 is going to be. Is double restricted with no Dynamax, and we're just going to go like back to Sun Series. It's just going to be the Wild Wild West, and it's going to be great.
That'd be a fun way to send out Sword and Shield because,
like, hey, you know the key mechanic of this game? We're throwing it out the window because everyone's tired of it.
That'd be fun. That'd be a fun way to send it off because that'd be the last series with Sword and Shield. It'd run from August. It'd run from August to
November.
No, you could run it from August to February. And then by the time, because you don't want to start your new game. The new games don't start immediately. It always starts a couple months after. You
could probably run like August through December, and then first of the year changeover. I think that's what they've done before. It's like first of the year, the new game becomes the format. I think that was with like X and Y into Sun and Moon. There was some weird thing where it was based on calendar year as to what game was being played, but your points still rolled over from the previous year because the event year is from August to August.
Yeah.
So it was after Worlds, but before the new games event started.
Uh-huh.
And it was really weird. It might have been from 18 to 19 where you were playing 2018 VGC and still earning points from that, and then you also had your restricted format in 2019. It's something really weird like that. So it was like same game but completely different format or something. I don't know. It was weird.
But yeah, Xerneas, you see it once in a while, and I never see this thing Dynamax. I see it run around trying to avoid Zacian and other steel type attacks constantly, and then finally gets into a position to where it can do something, and then it just gets bopped.
Like, oh, okay.
Because you've spent so much time pivoting it around it, trying to get into a good spot, that the rest of your team is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Reshiram also could probably stay and be. Same with Kyurem White. They're kind of just like paired together.
My complaint about Kyurem White is you still lose to Zacian. Which, like, sure.
Yeah.
At this point...
Like, you can calc to live one Behemoth Blade and then blow it up, but at that point, the damage has been done. You're sitting at, like, maybe 10% HP.
Yep. Like, alright, cool. Either you wasted your Dynamax, or you're getting chip shot at the next turn.
Yep. Ho-Oh also could probably stay in B. It's another one we see very rarely.
So this is basically just, like, barely played tier, and then C is, like, carried by Zacian. Is where I'm kind of at with this.
Yeah, that's kind of the power level here.
And then D is just don't play.
Yeah, D means don't play.
Like, it's not bad enough to be put into the meme tier, but at this point it might as well be.
Yeah.
You're better than base Calyrex. Congratulations.
Yeah. Honestly, I think you could probably flip these Giratina forms and probably be okay.
I think they're fine either way. I like the extra bulk on Origin form. Like, that's the selling point, is you have more bulk, so you live more hits. Like, I remember doing calcs for Giratina, you just wall Zacian so hard. You live every hit from Kyogre ever. Shadow Rider doesn't bother you. Yveltal just, like, dings you because you have Dark Aura. Like, but you also... The problem is, like, Yveltal does significant damage to you, and you don't really have a decent way of hitting it back.
Yeah, like, the best you could do is Dragon move, and if they're, like, Yveltal Zacian, that's never a safe option.
No. And, like, I don't think you get, like, Thunder or anything weird like that. I would have to look into it again, and unfortunately they're all on my old phone, so they're gone into the ether.
Into the abyss. Gone forever.
I just had, like, a page of calcs that I did for Giratina, and they're gone. Whatever.
Oh, womp womp. Other things that we have here and see, I don't think we touched on Eternatus a little bit.
I want it to be good. I really do.
I think it's fine in C. Like, if we want to add more tiers to this and kind of just like get nitty gritty with this, and then there we go.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Alright, so now that we've restructured this a little, I think Yveltal can definitely go up. I think Calyrex can go up. I think Palkia, Dialga, and yep, thank you. I think everything from Rayquaza down. Like, everything from Rayquaza down.
I think this is probably fine.
I can see Ho-Oh going back up.
I like this more than I like Ho-Oh. I like Reshiram more than I like Ho-Oh right now.
Ho-Oh checks Zacian really hard. Like,
yeah,
the
but
problem
then
is you die to
the other big two.
I mean, you line up okay against Groudon.
Groudon carries Stone Edge now. They rock your world.
That's why you just play Charty-Berry. If Charizard can do it, you can do it.
You don't want to be the one playing Charty-Berry, trust me.
Are you faster than Zard?
Ho-Oh? No.
Are you 90?
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate. So we need something that's faster than 90 that can also fire a rock move into Zard to break the Charty-Berry so that we can ancient power it. That's what you're saying. It's not good.
No. So, let's see here. S tier is the Zacian, Groudon, Kyogre. A plus is Yveltal and Calyrex Shadow. A would be Palkia, Dialga, Calyrex Ice. A minus, Lunala, all by itself here. B is Solgaleo, Reshiram. B minus is Rayquaza, Necrozma, Duskmane, Xerneas, Ho-Oh, Kirim White, pretty much anything else that's like decently playable.
And then C is where it starts really getting into like obscurely niche picks that are probably better off not being played.
You could probably do that.
Yeah, that seems fine.
Giratina, Eternatus, Zamazenta, Zygarde, all in the C tier here.
I think you can move the other Giratina form up.
That's probably fine.
It's definitely better than Mewtwo.
Yeah. And then C minus is the other Giratina form, Lugia, Dawnwings, and then Mewtwo, Zekrom, and Kyurem.
Can you do
Black.
one thing for me and move Mewtwo all the way over? Just the literal bottom of the tier list.
Very bottom.
Like Zekrom and Kyurem Black are more playable than Mewtwo. I think this is tiered appropriately. I think everything is.
I think everything's in order too.
I think everything is ranked appropriately in the tiers. I'm actually going to pull up Pikalytics and compare it to their usage stats.
That'll be cool. See what we got right, how we got wrong. Solgaleo is going to be much higher than it is right than we're talking. Giving it
Yeah, but
for.
like people are bad, so
Just calling them out like that.
look, man. I call a horse by a horse. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's not the same, but sure.
It's close enough. Alright, so this is currently Zacian,
Yeah.
Kyogre,
Okay.
Groudon,
Okay.
Cali Shadow, Scrolling, Yveltal,
Okay.
Cali Ice, Palkia,
Okay.
Scrolling, Xerneas, Dialga,
Okay.
Solgaleo,
Uh-huh.
the best restricted Torkoal, Lunala,
Uh-huh.
Kyurem White,
Uh-huh.
Ho-Oh, Eternatus.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, like actually surprising. It's at 1%.
Oh, goodness.
Rayquaza,
Uh-huh.
Reshiram, Zygarde, Dawnwings,
Oh, gosh.
Zamazenta, Lugia, Duskmane.
Well, there's Duskmane way down there.
That can't be right. There's no way Duskmane is that low.
What is it, like 0.2?
Less than 0.5%.
Jeez.
0.38. Zekrom. Zekrom is just as played as Shuckle is.
Nice.
Let that be known.
Nice.
What restrictors are we missing at this point?
Giratina.
There's Mewtwo.
How low is Mewtwo?
0.2.
I think we haven't said have we said Giratina?
I haven't seen one yet. There's Giratina Origin. There's Scorch.
I think the only one you haven't said might be Zygarde. And Lugia. And Kyurem Black.
I said Lugia. I
Okay.
know for sure I said Lugia.
Then Zygarde and Kyurem Black are the only two you haven't said yet.
Alright, there's Rhyperior. Regular Giratina at 0.02.
0.02. Jesus Christ. That is extremely low.
Kyurem Black. What am I missing at this point?
The only one I don't remember hearing is Zygarde, but I might have heard it earlier.
Zygarde cannot be this low. There's no way.
Yeah, it's hard to see Zygarde that.
Base Zacian. I'm scrolling all the way back up so I can search. I'm sure I said Zygarde. 0.61.
Oh, so yeah, you already said Zygarde then.
The doggo tier is zeros across the board.
Not surprised. Not surprised at all.
I just wanted to be known, base Zacian is more played than Doggo. Than Doggo Zygarde. If you could play both Zacian forms on the same team, would you?
Both Zacian forms?
Yes. Like, if that was just your restricted pairings of just Zacian and Zacian Crowned, would you?
No.
Probably not, right? Like, you're not Steel, but you are still a fairy, right?
Yeah. But like you lose stab steel is really good.
You also don't get Behemoth Blade.
Yeah, not having Behemoth Blade is a big deal.
You do get to carry like Life Orb to deal extra damage.
I mean, you get
lefties.
You get Intrepid Sword too.
You could be like lefties and be bulky. Like just rely on Dauntless.
Intrepid Sword.
Yeah, that one. Dauntless Shield is the other one.
Yeah,
that's what I was going for. And just like rely on your ability to be able to do any kind of damage.
Just rely on your ability to just hit them.
Yeah.
I mean, +1 at base 130 is still really good.
It's not +1 at base 170, though.
No.
It's still a ton of damage. I'm trying to think, like, in what instance would I play multiple forms of the same Pokemon? Like, I guess the only one that comes to mind is, like, Solgaleo and Duskmane together, which you can technically do, right?
Yeah, because one's Necrozma, one's Solgaleo.
Like, I don't want to play Necrozma forms together.
Well, you can't.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you could.
Oh.
This is the thought experiment. You could play Cali Ice and Cali Shadow, speed swap into your Cali Ice, and then punch them.
Quit it.
Am I too deep down the rabbit hole yet?
You didn't even know Cali Shadow got speed swap until tonight.
Thanks, Adam.
It means you didn't watch the Showdown video.
I did not. I told you earlier, I haven't watched anything in like a week.
Well, you need to get caught up.
I've been catching up on Road to Ranked because like I haven't been able to watch anything.
I think this is a good definitive list.
I think the tier list is perfect the way we have it.
Yep.
I honestly don't think there's anything that's just like off the wall or like crazy that this is this low or anything like this. I honestly feel pretty comfortable.
We're gonna get flack for Solgaleo anyway.
Look, man, people are gonna be mad that Lunala's better than it, and that's their problem, not mine.
Yeah. That is just, they have to worry about that, not us.
I also love that we're like missing tiers in between. Like there's no B plus because just nothing fits there. And it looks better just to have it and not have an empty pro.
Fun fact, a B plus and an A minus pretty much are the same thing.
Yeah, I mean close enough.
They're pretty much the same thing.
Tell that to my mother in high school, dude. She'd yell at me if I had a B plus, but an A minus is okay.
Yeah, because it's like a whole 2 percentage points apart.
At most.
Goodness. Okay. So you feel caught up on Series 12?
Not even slightly.
I didn't think so.
I am gonna be very blunt. No.
Yeah, if you haven't been playing for the last like month, or at least watching anything for the last month, it's a lot to take in and a lot to get caught up on. Rinja Sun's really, really popular, to the surprise of no one. I mean, it's won a bunch of tournaments back to back to back. It was Salt Lake City regionals. It was Liverpool regionals. There was the wide tour, which was like some 200 plus players on Battlefy, and it won that event. So yeah, Rinja Sun is the team to beat going into Indy. So if you're planning on going to Indy, plan to play against a bunch of that.
Yep.
Now, this next team we're going to talk about probably doesn't have the greatest Rinja Sun matchup, as we learned the hard way.
Look, man, it's not from a lack of trying.
No, you really tried. You almost got a win against it. Senta Scorch just doesn't deal enough damage.
Which is, it's so close. It is so close to being good. And I think the problem is I didn't have Sun up, but like, if I did, I feel like I win that game.
You do. Because you don't, you OHKO the Zacian.
Yeah. Yes, obviously, but I wanted it to be better than it is.
You also never Dynamaxed it, right?
I did, and it immediately died. Every time I brought Scorch, I think I lost. I think the one game I brought it and didn't bring it out at all, I won.
Yep. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that being
Like,
the thing.
I am completely unreliant on this thing. So this is a team sent in by C. Larkin, and he's sent us a fair amount of teams at this point. You know, over the last year or so, he's been sending stuff in. This seems cool. You know, having Dialga to do Trick Room things is obviously like what you want to kind of be doing with Dialga. Adamant Orb lets you dish out a ton of extra damage. I know I was always impressed with how much damage that this Dialga put out. It never felt like it was underwhelming, which is something I felt in the past with Dialga. It's just like, oh, I can't deal enough damage here. And this one, I don't know what is different. It might just be the format or something is shaped around it, but it's just like, all right, cool, I'm going to smack you. And it smacks hard.
I think a big part of it is there's less Snarl running around right now.
Which is a big part. There's less Snarl, there's less Eerie Impulse, just stuff that like ruins Dialga's day.
There's also a tendency to lean towards the more defensive side when you're EVing because Zacian is so popular. And you want to be able to live hits from that thing. So your Pokemon that would normally take a neutral hit that might go down would rather put those points towards trying to survive the more popular Pokemon rather than trying to survive the Dialga sitting across from it.
Yep. So to complement that, we do have this AV Dawn, which is a popular set that's been running around since Brisbane? No. Salt Lake City.
Yeah. I will say that just for Lord Penguin, Brisbane. Say it again.
Brisbane.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Brisbane.
What?
Yep.
How? I don't...
Nope, just keep saying Brisbane because it drives you nuts. It's perfect.
Good. I'm gonna segment, just segregate the small amount of Australian listeners I have for half a second and yell at Matt. What? I don't understand.
I But yes, that this is the Groudon set that's been mostly popularized since Salt Lake City. The whole idea behind like the Rinya Sun team came from the March IC where it did really well. Mm-hmm. The Japanese player, I think their username was Rinya or the real name's Rinya or something like that, and that's where the whole name comes from.
It was the original team that had Grimmsnarl on it, right?
Yeah.
Grimmsnarl got dropped for Gastro.
Nope, it still has Grimmsnarl. It was Iron Ball Grimmsnarl.
That's what it was. You just changed the
we just changed to Light Clay. Yeah.
So the Groudon set felt lackluster.
So
it just didn't feel like it was living hits, even behind screens and like getting your boost from your Dynamax and everything else on it. It just constantly felt like it just died. And I think you and I talked about this afterwards, and I think a big part of it is the way I played it.
Yeah.
Where I wanted Groudon to be, putting out a ton of pressure and then, having something else clean up the late game. And instead, Groudon is that Pokemon that needs to come in the late game and clean up, and instead threaten things with your Moltres or your Rillaboom or something else to put you in a position where Groudon can take over the game.
Correct.
I think Dialga does complement it well, being able to have a very strong Dynamax next to it, give it that extra boost in your defenses that you need, just so you can live as many hits as you possibly can. But it's not how I played it in when the video is already live, correct?
Yeah.
So you can go watch it and, critique my play and tell me I'm terrible and all that stuff. I won't read them. So
no, that's my job.
Rillaboom felt good. I think the Miracle Seed Rillaboom set here is fine. I actually really like U-Turn on it. I believe there was...
Had you not played with that before?
Not in a while.
I feel like that's just the common thing is just like all Rillabooms have U-turn anymore.
The last time I played Rillaboom, it was carrying Woodhammer still. So just like you wanted to be able to smack the ever-living crap.
Yeah, you just carry double grass, fake out, protect.
Yeah.
Okay,
so it's been a very long time since I've seen Rillaboom.
Yeah.
And honestly, it feels great, being able to U-turn off of something, break a potential sash or whatever, and then set Trick Room, get your Centiskorch in for free, because your Rillaboom is fairly slow, so you're going to be able to get it in after it's taken hits for you, and then Scorch comes in and gets Dynamax and clean things up. The big thing I was really impressed with on this team is like this Black Glasses Moltres set. It's really awkward. The speed tier that this team has it at, you're slower than a lot of the Pokemon you want to be able to handle with like Snarl. And I think a big part of that is you are a true Trick Room team in the sense that like everything else on your team is slow, and like you have all the extra bulk on Moltres as a result as well. But I honestly think you could drop one of these dark moves in some capacity and play like Hurricane. Probably not Hurricane since we are like a Sun team.
You probably just
like Air Slash and have this as a potential Dynamax target as well. Because, you know, there's a couple games where it's like, all right, I'm behind screens and now I'm going to be able to airstream and like, you know, Grimmsnarl goes down or whatever, and you bring in Dialga, and now Dialga's also going to be fast, so you get to do extra damage there. Like, having that potential fast mode on this team with Moltres, I think, could be very beneficial. The problem is like, what dark move do you want to drop? Because Fiery Wrath is obviously very good spread damage. Snarl is there for, like, pure utility. Foul Play is to pick up, like, weakness policy users. So, like, I could see dropping Fiery Wrath just because you already have Snarl for that spread damage. But, like, Fiery Wrath also has that chance to flinch, which, like, Air Slash does as well. So it's in this really awkward position where you're also not gaining any additional damage from your item on Air Slash. And, like, I don't think dropping Protect on this set is good, because I think you want that extra utility to be able to max guard or protect as needed. So it's just really... You're in a very finite space. You know, you don't have the room to be able to do everything you want to with this.
Yep, you don't have a lot of wiggle room with it.
But, you know, you are, like, a big thing is, like, you are immune to Grimmsnarl doing things to you. If they want to, like, Spirit Break you, you're just going to get triggered into Berserk, and you're going to go back to neutral. So, like, in a lot of senses, you are just fine. You're also, like, because you are a dark type, you can just switch in and take a Prankster hit from Grimmsnarl and just ignore it and be able to pick it up with Dialga or whatever as well. So I really like the addition of Moltres. It's not something I've played with a lot or at all in this format, so excited to see how well it actually played. It was something I really was impressed with on this team.
Outside, like you mentioned fast mode on this team, like with your Trick Room, like the other option you have is swap Rillaboom for Venusaur.
Sure.
Like, I think that's something you could also do and probably be fine and get away with it.
I think you could switch Rillaboom to Venusaur and then switch Scorch to Charizard, and there you go. There's your team.
Yeah, team locked and loaded.
Play the good grass type, play the good fire type. Congratulations, you have the good team in the format.
Yeah. Yeah. Scorch is an interesting one. I played with it real early on in Series 12 as just like an anti-Zacian mon. And that was when Zacian was just like, every team was Zacian Kyogre. And the fact that you just have Power Whip means that if you get in the right situation, you can set Light Screen and maybe tank the Water Spout and then Power Whip the freaking, or not Power Whip, Overgrowth the Kyogre and just delete it. Just gone off the face.
It's still not as cool as Max Geysering at the KO.
That is true. It was only fair that we played the Firebug this time to try and do that.
It's not my favorite bug in this format, but Scorch does have like the state of the current meta is just not advantageous for it.
No,
you just line up so poorly against so many things. You die to Charizard. Groudon's carrying around Stone Edge now, so you get hit hard by it. Like, sure, you are immune to Intimidate, but, like,
that
you're
doesn't
not
matter.
Doing anything to Instant.
Like, being immune to Intimidate doesn't mean a whole lot when you're not doing a whole lot of damage to begin with.
Yep. When you're not able to pick up KOs while you're Dynamaxing, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So, like, you have G-Max Inferno to lock them in, which prevents them from, like, switching around and stuff, so then you can pick up KOs.
Yeah, it's Fire Spin.
But if you're having to use a move to two-hit KO them, is it really all that advantageous?
No, not really.
Like, congratulations, you prevented one switch. Now they get to bring in their next Pokemon, and they can switch that turn anyway.
Yeah.
Like, the Pokemon they bring in is not trapped.
And then the Grimmsnarl is just super standard.
Yeah, I didn't comment on it because I just don't like it. I don't like Grimmsnarl. It's not anything against this set. This set's fine. It is what it is.
I think this is the most optimal set. It's Spirit Break, Scary Face, Light Screen, Reflect. Like you could play
honestly,
T-Wave.
You could probably drop Spirit Break for foul play and then just smack them even more. But I don't think you need to do that on this team because you have Moltres.
Yeah.
Like, Moltres is doing that role on this team.
But yeah, like I feel like this is like the super standard best set you could probably run on Grimmsnarl. Like Spirit Break just helps you live so many more hits. Plus you get to beat the Grimmsnarl mirror with it.
One of the biggest complaints I have about this team is you just don't have like Intimidate. You have Snarl on Moltres, but you don't have Intimidate. So like sure you set up screens, but screens backed up with Intimidate is way better than just naked screens.
Yeah.
Did you know taking less damage is better for you?
Yeah.
Like, I know that's a really hard concept, but when you're trying to make things that are super bulky and live forever, taking less damage is going to make them live forever.
Yeah.
So
that's usually how this works.
I don't know. I think if you want to play with Sith the Scorch, go for it. Knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Just be prepared to put your head to the ground and just let people step all over you.
Yeah, there's so much sun running around that you're just not gonna have a fun time anymore.
When it's good, it's fantastic. It's so fun, but those games are few and far between, it feels like.
Yeah. All right, and with that being said, I think we're done for the day.
Well, can I be on screen?
I mean,
can you put me on instead of just you?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's why we went to this. No.
For sure. Yeah, this is the last couple weeks, being away from the game and just kind of not really paying attention to stuff, and then stepping in and jamming it all in, an hour or whatever. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting.
You got a lot more to catch up on. There's a whole lot more nuance still to this.
And obviously I ladder every week and everything else on cart, but this is like, all right, I'm going to pick up and play like.
Yeah, you're not actually like looking at anything hard, super duper hard through a lens like I have been. You're just.
Yeah, I go, yeah, this thing looks cool.
Yeah, like this has got something cool.
Bonds. I want to try this out. Is it always good? No. Is it always fun? Yeah, usually.
Yeah. I've been hard at work coming up with my team for Indy. I think I finally have something mostly locked in. I have an archetype that I like, and that's kind of where we're just playing around with now.
See, that's like the big thing is you have an event to grind for. I don't, so I'm just kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
You're the format expert, and I'm just here getting to talk like I know what I'm talking about.
Whatever floats your boat, bud.
No one has called me out and told me I'm completely stupid yet, so we're doing okay.
Well, they're gonna do that now because now you said it.
I don't read the comments.
No, they'll tag you on Discord now.
That's fair. I don't pay attention to it anymore either.
Yeah, you can't see it anyway.
I'll see it maybe once a day, if that.
Yeah.
So
you ready to get out here?
I think so, man. I'm ready to go home and take a nap. It's been a long
it's
day.
bedtime.
So, as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. If you're listening over on Spotify, go ahead and leave us that 5-star review. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you can also leave us a review on there. And leave us a little description of why you like the show and everything else. Because Spotify doesn't let you leave comments on your reviews. Like, really weird. And I don't think you can rate at all on Google. And if you can't, it's news to me.
You can't, but I know.
So, it's really weird because all the podcast metrics are completely different across every platform. It's dumb.
Just interact favorably with the podcast.
Every time you hear us talk, just click the button to make us happy.
Yeah. Yep, just do that.
You can always follow us on Twitter at LR Lessons, myself at Mr. Missouri 25, Carl is Musical VGC. You can follow us on Twitch as well. I know you've been streaming a little bit here and there when you can. That's at Musical. I've been smashing my head in the wall with Blue Kaizo still. That's a grind.
Yeah.
We finally made it to the E4, and then everything I thought could go wrong did. So, that went great.
Yep. You got to set up a cool glitch though.
Yep, and then it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And the glitch that has gotten me through the game, it didn't pay through. I couldn't tell you the number of times I've set up the dig glitch. Just like, all right, cool, now we win. Just like, they can't touch me. And then like I do it in the first fight and it's like, oh yeah, I'm -6 accuracy. This is going to be an endurance grind, and we just missed it.
Yep.
But it is what it is. That's at Mr. Missouri 25 for me. If you want, ROM hacks and all that cool stuff that, the Nuzlocke content and all that stuff.
And ladderings on Friday.
Yeah, that's what I do. Carl does the in-depth technical Pokemon stuff. I get to sit back and
you get to have all the fun.
I get to do all the hard stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Make sure you come and join the community Discord. That's where you get access to all of our events and all that stuff, interact with everyone in the community. That's, of course, always free and always in the show notes as well. You can find that on Twitter. There's 100 places you can find it. It's in literally every video we have on YouTube. Go follow us there. Let's see. Make sure you check out the website at lrlessons.com. There's the merch page on there. There's the calendar for all our events and everything. And, of course, there's articles written up from several members across the community as well. We should, hopefully, in the next month or so, have some new merch going up.
Yeah, that's the hope.
I'm very excited.
Same.
We're going to slap it on everything because I love the idea. And I hope it turns out really well.
That's the hope.
I just want a t-shirt. I just want it on a t-shirt. That's all I care about. I think that's everything. Anchor support. Yeah, if for whatever reason you don't like merch and you just want to throw money at us, you can do that as well. That's always down in Anchor. That's on Anchor, always down in the show notes. Little as 20 or 25 cents an episode. As little as
$1 a month.
$1 a month up to, I think, 20 a month you can do. So if you're interested in that, always make sure you check that out. And I think that's officially it. I think we're done.
Yep, that's it.
Cool. All right, everyone. Have a good week, and we'll see you next one. Have a good one. Peace.